writers, are you excited to become authors today? Do you remember what authors do? Yeah, that's right. They write stories. They come up with ideas in their heads of things they either want to entertain you with, a funny story, a sad story, or things like today, what we're going to write, they want to teach you about, right? And so today, you're going to get to pick out an animal that you want to either learn more about or you know a lot about and you're going to get some more facts about. And you're going to write a nonfiction book all week, a nonfiction book to teach people real facts about your animal. And then on Friday, we're going to upload ourselves reading the book so all our friends can see all the books we wrote. So today we're going to start with a very important part of the book. If you look at the book Miss Jackson chose, I chose to write about deers this week. Baby deers in particular is the name of my book. And so I picked this book. You're going to go on Epic Books today after you choose an animal. So first step, choose an animal. Second step, go on Epic and find 2 to 3 books about your animal and read them. Make sure the books you pick tell about your animal's habitat, where they live, what your animal looks like, its body parts, and what your animal eats, because we're going to be writing about those all week, okay? So I found a book about baby deers, and I have some other ones. And today, we're going to start with the very first part of our book, and you can see it in this nonfiction book. A most important part of a nonfiction book is the cover, because the cover lets the audience or the people you want to read your book know what your book is going to teach them about. And right here, you can immediately see that my cover tells that we're going to learn about baby deers. So that's what you're going to do with me today. You're going to make a cover. There are some important parts of the cover. You have to have a title that tells what the book's about. You have to have the author and the illustrator on it. Ooh, they don't have the author and illustrator in your book. That tells who wrote it and who drew the pictures, right? And you have to have a picture that kind of shows and gets people interested in your book. So let's look at my chart paper today as I start to make my cover for my book. So at the very top of your piece of paper, you're not going to have a super jumbo piece like Miss Jackson does, but I have to have a super jumbo piece so you can see it. You're going to write the title of your book. Now, you can just use the words like they did. They used baby deer, or you can use the words all about. So I'm going to write at the top of mine, all, with a capital A. I'm going to use a different marker. So this one's kind of running out. Sorry, guys. Let me get a different marker so you can see it better. All, at capital A, because this is important. Titles have capital letters for each word. So all has a capital A and 2 little L's. All. About would have another capital A, because again, all the words in a title start with a capital letter. That's a rule. About, a, b, out. It has that word out in it. A, b, out, about. So all about. And then what did I say mine was going to be about? Deers. Deers. Oh, look what I started to do. Oh no. I started to make it not what? Capital. So I got to kind of fix that. I'm going to put a capital D real small beside it. And then I can make that an E and E-R-S. So there's my title. All about deers. Now you're going to want to do a little better than Miss Jackson and put some space between your words. But I made that mistake and I was using markers. You should start with pencil. Always use pencil so you can erase, sketch your picture, everything pencil. And then when it's all perfect, you can go back over it with markers. But Miss Jackson has to use markers so you guys can see it. Now, you put your title at the top. You're going to leave a bunch of space in the middle, okay? And then at the bottom, you're going to write the words by, B-Y. It rhymes with my, B-I. Sometimes the Y makes an I sound at the end of the word. So by, put 2 little dots called a colon. And then you put the author and the illustrator's name. Do you know who's going to write the story and draw the pictures? That's right, it's you. And authors always use their first and last names. So I'm going to put my first name, which is Kelly. And then my last name, which is Jackson. So let's see. Do I have my parts so far? Do I have a title? Check. My readers are going to know what the book's about. Do I have an author and illustrator? Check. My reader knows who drew the pictures and wrote the story. So what's the next part of cover going to have or has? Well, let's see. You can't see because it's covered up. The author and illustrator, the title, a picture. Now, we can take a real photograph if that's what you want to do for your cover. If you happen to have this animal laying around your house and you want to take a real photograph, or if you want to print one out from the computer and put it on your cover, by all means. Or you can do like Miss Jackson's going to do, and you can just draw one. Now, I'm not the most super awesome drawer, but I'm going to give it a try. All right, so I'm going to draw its little head. That's what I think its head kind of looks like. Lindsay's looking at me like I'm crazy because she's a really good artist, y'all, and I'm not so much. Then I'm going to draw it some ears. Okay. And then I'm going to draw it a body. There's its body. And then I'm going to draw it some legs. And it kind of has legs like that. They kind of have like benty legs. Okay, so my deer's a little interesting looking, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be the best you can do, and that's what I'm doing. All right, and then you can tell, I'm looking at the picture, it had a nose like this, like a, yep, and then it had like a thing. And then it had some pretty eyes. Look at its pretty eyes. One was over here. And then another one right here. Yep, and then it had like a pink part in its insides here. And I can give it even more of a little part over here to its ear. Let's make this come around and curl it a little bit. There we go. Yep, and then I noticed the baby deers in my pictures. Let's give it some more legs. There we go. I give it better legs. Had spots. They had spots. And its tail was kind of like a flippy thing in there. So there's deers. All about deers. Now, I could also draw where it's at. So I could put some plants and stuff around it. So we can give it some tall grass it's on. We can give it maybe a bush. Maybe it's eating a bush. And maybe a tree over here. So you can give all kinds of details. And there you go. And now I've made a cover. How do you know you're done? Because you've done your very personal best. You've given it three things. A title that tells what your book's about. And yours can be all about whatever animal you want, or it can just be called deers, or whatever animal. Like if you're doing tigers, it could be tigers. You give it a picture that shows what the book's going to be about. And you give it an author and illustrator at the bottom, which is your name. So you put by and your name. Remember when you're drawing your pictures, I haven't finished mine yet, so I'll go finish mine later, that you give as much details as you can, not just showing what, but where they're at and things like that. You can even show the when. Like I could throw a sun up there to show that this is during the day. This deer is out during the day. Okay, make sure you give all those details. Good luck picking out your animal. Go read some great, awesome books about them and make a super duper cover for your first ever nonfiction book. Catch you tomorrow.